Let's talk about the Samsung S26 lineup, what Samsung finally got right and where they totally went wrong. Let's start with the good, shall we? First, all Samsung S26 models, the S26, the Plus and the Ultras, now feature a 10-bit color display panel. This means better HDR, smoother gradients, and overall better colors on that display, including better Dolby Vision support. Finally catching up to what the iPhones have had since the iPhone 12 series with that Dolby Vision. For years, people thought Samsung had the best displays on their phone, mostly due to the fact that, yeah, they do create displays for other brands like Apple, OnePlus, Xiaomi, etc. And also the fact that they have higher resolutions on their Ultra phones. Anyways, real HDR quality is all about color depth and color profile, not just pixels. Xiaomi and OnePlus actually figured this out years ago, but Samsung just joined the party. Next on the good, charging is also faster. S26 Plus features 45 watts charging and S26 Ultra features 60 watts of fast charging. And the S26 Ultra can now hit 70% of charge in 30 minutes. Base storage is now 256 gigabytes across the board. Battery wise, only the S26 got a bump to 4300 mAh, which is actually very incredible for that size and form factor. I mean, without using silicon carbon, of course. Design wise, Samsung made an interesting move. The S26 Ultra ditched titanium and finally moved back to aluminum, but then it's now thinner at 7.9 millimeters, making it the thinnest Ultra Samsung phone ever created. The design language is also more rounded, and now all the three models now share the same unified, universal, all-rounded design language. They look more alike than any of the S series have ever looked. Finally, the cameras. The S26 Ultra 200 megapixel main sensor now has an f1.4 aperture, which lets in 50% more light than before. And then the 5x telephoto is also significantly brighter too. Just looking at Mr. Who's the Boss test results, I could see the difference almost instantly, especially in low lights. Now, let's move to the bad, shall we? Still no magnetic wireless charging or magnetic accessory support in 2026. That's embarrassing. You still need a case for basic functionality. There is also no battery increase on the S26 Plus and S26 Ultra, which means battery efficiency is now fully dependent on the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Well, we'll see how that plays out. But then the biggest issue is the price. The S26 and S26 Plus went up by $100 with basically nothing worth that. $100 in a world where the iPhone 17 reduced by $100 with the same 256 gigs starting storage. The craziest part is that the base S26 is still stuck at 25 watt fast charging, but then it costs $900 at 256 gigabytes. Which means basically Samsung is no longer the value option. As a matter of fact, the only one I'll consider even getting or recommend is the S26 Ultra. Anything that makes you look at the Plus or the base model, just go get an iPhone 17 instead. End of story. Yeah, because only Samsung is bold enough to raise prices for what's just basically a minor spec bump. Mainly to the Ultras, yeah, because the base model and the Plus got no spec bumps in my opinion. It's just a replacement of the 8 Gen 4 to 8 Gen 5. Anyways, hats off to the S26 Ultra for that privacy dynamic display it has. Yeah, it's not worth talking about. It's a gimmick in my personal opinion, but other creators seem to like it. But then it received the most meaningful upgrades to the camera along with other changes, and that's better looking design, and it's kept the same price, which is how it should be. Do you know that the S26 shares the same camera hardware with Samsung S22? Which means 22, 3, 4, 5, and 6 use the same camera hardware and have to depend on computational photography in a world where the last 4 base iPhones all have at least one change in the camera sensors.